Hey everyone, it's Mike with this old hot rod. Day number, God only knows what at this point.
Weeds, but you know.
What's going on, everyone? I gotta turn the TV
then
off.
come those fateful words, ran when parked.
I just got in the garage. I had to run up to the auto parts store and grab some hardener for my filler. The filler I'm using is Evercoat Z-Grip. It's a real lightweight filler. Sands really easy compared to typical Bondo. I would certainly recommend not using regular Bondo because it's hard as a rock and it's really difficult to sand. Started skim coating. Just mixed up a batch, small little batch on one of my clean sheets. If you've never seen these are real handy, so if you're ever in a situation where you're going to be doing body work, jump online. A lot of auto parts stores that carry paint products sell these. I also got this at Allied. So these are really cool. You just, instead of mixing up on a sheet of cardboard, you just take it, peel it off, and throw it in the trash, and you get a brand new clean sheet to start it, do your next batch on. Hence the name Clean Sheet. So really cool product. Certainly comes in extremely handy. So again, I'm concentrating on the main areas where there was work done. The chop area where the roof was stretched. I'm going to go around the top of the roof where the filler was, where I removed it. Down around the back of the quarter windows, around the back of the car, as everybody knows at this point. This area here, this area here, this area, the door, front door edge, bottoms of the, the A-pillars, things like that. So a little bit of a depression here where the filler was, where I removed it all the way around. So like I said, I had just done the first little batch of filler, and I'm going to work my way around the back. Luckily, I'm not doing a whole car because I'd have to go buy another tub of that. This first batch is starting to set up. And clean this real quick while it's still soft. So the sealer came out good. Everything I wanted it to do. Evercoat has got this really cool little label on top. It's kind of a guide. Your cream hardener, you add about half the distance, half the circumference of a 2-inch blob of filler. This 4-inch, which is about what that is, maybe a little more, you come all the way straight across, and then an 1/8 inch you go all the 8-inch you go all the way across, and then half. So it's a really good chart, comes in handy. So I got about a 4-inch blob. I've already kind of mixed this up. That should be the amount I need. I'm just gonna mix it up. You really don't want to see any of this greenish gray color in the filler. If you do, it won't dry right. You really need to mix that hardener in there good and get it one uniform color. Dragging it thin to try to really mix it in good and spread it out good. Alright, I think I got a pretty consistent color. I don't want to build it up anywhere I don't want it to be. Just stopping it right at the front edge. Putting a little bit of pressure on it to make sure there's no air bubbles in it. I don't know. Woo-hoo-hoo! So this is maybe 1/16 of an inch of filler. Oh, there's something else. This must have came from inside the can. A lot of the little imperfections will get filled when I spray the high build primer. It's basically what they call sprayable body filler. I don't know if there's a right or a wrong way to do this. I don't know if you're supposed to work from the top down, the bottom up. I guess it's whatever works for you, I suppose. You don't want there to be air bubbles or anything in it. This batch is almost gone. It's right at the right time too, because I can feel it starting to kick off. So you can see what I got done there. Just working my way around. This doesn't have to be perfect. It's just the base coat of filler. It's just to get a base to work off of. I'll sand that down with 80 grit. Get it down to where I need it to be, and then I'll go over it again. Some people let these things dry up and then they flex them and crack the body filler off them, which I had done plenty of times, but the edge always seems to get ruined. I try to just clean them up with acetone or this pre-wash before they get to that point. I think my GoPro's dying. What I'll end up doing is cutting a couple of these filler applicators or whatever they are. I'll cut them down into 1 inch or 1/2 inch slivers, and I'll work some of the little critical areas with those. So that's it. That's my update for today. It's Sunday. I'm gonna go hang out with my girlfriend, go drink some beer. It's a nice fall day. I hope everybody is out enjoying themselves. Thanks again for following along. I appreciate it. The body's in sealer. I got the body in sealer on this past Saturday. Sunday afternoon, I spent some time, came in the garage, but I wanted to get at least 1 coat of filler on the coupe. As you can see, I got 1 coat of filler and then some. Did a few quick coats, about a couple of coats around the top edge where the filler panel was. And then I basically just kind of went over everything where the metal work had been done. I've got a lot of sanding to do. There's a few heavy spots here and there. These were some of the bad areas. I left it a little heavy so I could have the material to sand off. I'm going to do some sanding on the body. I'm going to start with 80 grit and kind of get the base of where I need to be on tonight before I'm done, or while I'm done, or before I end the night. I might try to get another coat of filler on it. So I'm going to get to work sanding this, and I'll get done when I get done tonight. I don't know how long I'm going to spend in the garage. See, I added a little too much hardener to that batch of filler, but regardless, it should still sand off just fine. Guys, I got my GoPro plugged in, charging, and I'm filming with that while it's charging. I'm working on this quarter window here. Got a couple of low spots that I'll leave for the next round of filler. This little drip rail coming down is looking good. I'm working on this area right here. I put a lot of filler in this area because that's where the chop was done, all the pie cuts. So I'm working my way down with this now and around. I can feel a couple little low spots that I'll have to add to afterwards. After this is done, I'll hit it again with sealer. Seal in all the bare metal spots so I know they're good to go. Got my go-to flexible sander. This is kind of like Old Faithful. This is the sander I typically lean on because, like I said, it's flexible, and these cars are so rounded. There's so many contours. The surface here is bellied down, and the reason for that is when Brad welded the filler panel on it, the metal pulled down as he was welding it. So it comes up, it dips down, and then it comes back up as it's getting nearer towards the opening where he had the filler. So what I'm trying to do is fill in that belly obviously all the way around the insert where I'm going to have the insert. So I want to get it smooth, better get it back to what it once was. It's not going to take very much. You can see here, after I sanded the driver's side, what I have left. It is a little low in some of these areas. There was a dent here, so I have a couple low spots right here and here. I'll reskim this, and I'll reskim around the insert. But I have to sand it back from here back to see how much I actually still have to come up. I'm working here on the rear window opening where it was chopped, where the metal met up to one another. Each piece on the rear of this car wasn't too bad. A couple little spots on either side. I already sanded down the driver's side, so I just got this little spot left. Apologize if there's dust on the windshield. You see I got still got some low spots here where it's dark. Obviously some high spots. I have to sand around on the quarter window and a little bit up onto the rain gutter or the channel, the drip rail. And that'll be it. So all in all, really not a ton left, but not a whole lot of areas where I need to do a lot more filler. Like I said, I still have this area here to sand down up to about here. All of this has already been sanded. You can see where my roof filler was, where I did my little patch. Not too bad. This is only one round of filler there, so all these low spots here where it's dark, you can see. So that's got to be filled. Got this area here where that dent was. Little spot here. And then I obviously have to do the sanding on the door. Get this spot here, here, and here. So it's mainly just the passenger side left. Tired, but I'm determined to get this sanded and filled again before the night's over. So I'm gonna keep going. See this is gonna need a little bit of filler here, but my outer edge is good. Some filler here, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna finish off the night with another round of filler. So get ready for time lapse. So this is one of the tough areas to get to. So I have my piece of sandpaper folded in half and then folded in quarters. Try to fatten up this edge on the sandpaper to give it a similar contour as around the quarter window. It's raining, kinda rainy day today. I had the dehumidifier running in the garage throughout the day. This shop never really seems to get too humid. I have a wood floor. I have a wood floor with a full basement underneath. It's insulated. The walls are all insulated and the ceiling's heavily insulated. Metal doesn't typically even rust in here, so I have to do another round of sanding on the roof feel like I probably got it pretty good. I'm sure there's going to be something. I got to bring this up quite a bit still. I think I might have missed this. I did. I think I missed this hole. No, I didn't. I hit it. Boy, I'm losing it. Yeah. I can feel it's low right here. I think I may have to run back to the store and grab more filler. I wasn't planning on doing another round of filler after I sanded this, but unfortunately I kind of feel like I'm going to have to by the feel of things. It's low here, it's low here. And granted, it still needs to be sanded. It's either low here or it's high here. Well, I'm going to get to sanding. What time is it? It's 4:30. I think I'm going to run back down to the auto parts store. Pick up another thing of filler because I ran out. It looks like I'm probably going to have to do another round of filler on this after I sand this afternoon, which is fine. Unfortunately, it just pushes me back a little bit. Welcome back. Day number 8, I think, for the body work so far. Yeah, including all the metal and all that other stuff. So as far as filler goes, there's 2 coats of filler. So there's 2 separate days I did the filler, and then today's the 3rd day. I just ran to Napa, picked up a gallon of 3M. There'll be a few spots that I need to go over. I already checked on the car, and I ran out of filler last night, so I wasn't able to do as much filler on that second round as I had wanted to. You know, you're as far as you can go down right there when you hit metal. I've also hit metal right underneath here, so I know this is pretty much where it's got to be. I'll clean up this inside edge a little bit. You see a little bit of low spots here. That's got to come up. Got to come up here. I can keep going a little bit, but I'm just starting to hit metal here now. So I don't really want to sand too much further there. I'm already down to the epoxy here. And I've got good hash marks here, so I know from here to here is flat, it's smooth. Same as here to here. Smooth. Low. This all looks smooth. I got a little bit of a low spot here, but I still have to sand this down. A little bit of a ridge here. You just take your time and go inch by inch, piece by piece. And it all gets to where it needs to be, and then you'll know what the car needs. You'll know if it needs to be sanded down or if it needs to be built up. It all just kind of eventually comes out. It'll tell you what it needs. The surface here is bellied down, and the reason for that is when Brad welded the filler panel on it, the metal pulled down as he was welding it. So it comes up, it dips down, and then it comes back up as it's getting nearer towards the opening where he had the filler. So what I'm trying to do is fill in that belly, obviously all the way around the roof filler, or the insert where I'm going to have the insert. So I want to get it smooth, better get it back to what it once was. It's not going to take very much. You can see here, after I sanded the driver's side, what I have left. It is a little low in some of these areas. There was a dent here, so I have a couple low spots right here and here. I'll reskim this, and I'll reskim around the insert. But I have to sand it back from here back to see how much I actually still have to come up. So I'm working on the last few little spots on the roof. I still have the passenger side door itself to work on. I'm working here on the rear window opening where it was chopped. So I just got this little spot left. I just wanted to talk a little bit again before my GoPro died. I'm getting there, it's late. Been out here for quite a while, sanding. Like I said, I have a little bit left to do on the passenger side window. I'm gonna dust the car off, give it a quick wipe down, and mix up another batch of mud before I go in the house tonight. Not a whole lot of areas where I need to do a lot more filler. Like I said, I still have this area here to sand down up to about here. All of this has already been sanded. You can see where my roof filler was, where I did my little patch. Not too bad. This is only one round of filler there, so all these low spots here where it's dark, you can see from when Brad welded the insert, the filler on it. It pulled the metal down, it shrunk the metal, so it bellied the metal. So that's got to be filled. Got this area here where that dent was, little spot here, and then I obviously have to do the sanding on the door. Get this spot here, here, and here. It's mainly just the passenger side left. Tired, but I'm determined to get this sanded and filled again before the night's over. So I'm gonna keep going. See this is gonna need a little bit of filler here, but my outer edge is good. Some filler here, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna finish off the night with another round of filler. So get ready for time lapse. I'm gonna do another round of sanding on the roof. I feel like I probably got it pretty good. I'm sure there's gonna be something. But I did full round of sanding last night. And then before I went in the house, I did another batch of filler, body filler, on some of the areas where I felt there was some low spots. Yeah. I gotta bring this up quite a bit still. I think I might have missed this. I did. I think I missed this whole... No, I didn't. I hit it. Boy, I'm losing it. I can feel it's low right here. I think I may have to run back to the store and grab more filler. I wasn't planning on doing another round of filler after I sanded this, but unfortunately I kind of feel like I'm gonna have to by the feel of things. It's low here. It's low here. And granted, it still needs to be sanded. It's either low here or it's high here. So I'm gonna run back down to the auto parts store, go grab another gallon of filler just so I have it. It looks like I'm probably gonna have to do another round of filler on this after I sand this afternoon, which is fine. Unfortunately, it just pushes me back a little bit. I was hoping to have paint on the car before the weekend, but if it doesn't happen until Sunday, then that's fine. Having a party Saturday at the house here. Got the guys coming down from the club, the Tornadoes, and also a lot of other people are coming down. I do 2 parties a year at my house, one in the spring and one in the fall. It's kind of like a tradition my girlfriend and I have started a few years ago, and it's like it's kind of the kickoff to the summer. Is the first cruise of the year, and this past spring we had a food truck come down, serve their food out of the food truck out back, and we did a pretty decent cruise. It was pretty hot out in some of the cars. We made it without any issues, but it was tough because of the temperature. But this time of year now, it's just nice and cool out. It's a perfect hot rod weather. So gonna do a nice drive down, probably down into Plymouth area, Plymouth, Mass, Plymouth Rock, and just go hang out for a little bit, come back, and then we're gonna have a barbecue here, smoking a big brisket that I'll pick up from the butcher shop on Thursday, and sausages and pulled pork sandwiches and all the barbecue fixings, chili, mac and cheese, stuff like that. So I do 2 parties a year. This will be the summer closeout or the end of the season cruise, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a pretty good turnout. Each time we do one of these little get-togethers or parties, they seem to keep growing. So which is the plan. That's kind of what you want to happen. Izzy, go over here. So that's the plan for the weekend, for Saturday. So if I can't get this into filler, if I can't get this into paint before then it should be at least in surfacer primer, and I should already be sanding it if it's not ready to be sprayed at that point. If I can get the thing in surfacer and get it sanded for Saturday or Sunday morning, then I could spray it my final coat of epoxy Sunday morning and get right into the finish on Sunday. So that would be pretty cool. Alright guys, so I'm still out in the garage. Like I had said earlier, I ended up having to go pick up another can of filler, another gallon of filler. This is a 3M product. I did some quick reviews. The reviews were really good on the product, which naturally 3M products are typically top of the line, I'd say. Yeah, I think I'm going to build up this front corner right now. I'm just going to block it real quick and then do another filler, a little small area of filler here. And I think everything else feels pretty good. This stuff is pretty impressive. You can see here on the side of the can, 4, 8, 20, 45. So really some pretty awesome stuff. I haven't sanded it yet, so I'm going to start sanding now and see how that is. I'm sure it's going to sand out just great. So I'm going to get into another quick round of sanding here, do another thing of filler, and then I'm just going to work my way around. So I have about a 2-inch circle, I'd say, roughly, give or take. So I'm only going, halfway across. That's basically halfway across. You don't want it blotchy and streaky like that. You want it to just be one consistent color. So I'm not really applying all that much pressure to it. I want to keep it a little high so I have material to sand down. Trying to keep it out of the area where the filler is. I want there to be little spots where there's dips and little reveals and different things where I'm going to trap that black paint. I want to trap some of the black paint because, like I think I had said before, what I'm going to do is paint this entire car turquoise. And then after it's painted turquoise, I'm actually going to paint it black. Well, I say the car. I mean the roof. So. Oh, you know what? I do have one spot. One spot right on this back window opening. That's already setting up. That's it for me. No more filler. I'm done with that. After the sealer, this is the next step. After the bodywork's done, I seal it. And then this is my polyester filler primer. So that's my surfacer. So this is what I'm going to block sand down to 400 grit. Then I'm going to seal this in, and then I'm going to do my finish. So certainly a lot of steps involved, but I think anybody that's built a car like this or has done any type of work on a car, they've either dabbled in auto body or they've looked into it, and they've either tried it or they're terrified of doing it. This is hopefully showing you that it's not impossible to do if you're just a guy working in the backyard in your garage. It's really not all that difficult. You just have to know the steps. I'll break the steps down. I'll do like a bullet point of the steps, how I was told how to do it from a buddy of mine. It may be wrong in some people's eyes. It may be, out of sequence, but it's how I've done it. It's how I did my other coupe, and so far it's worked out for me pretty good. I'm gonna put this away. And then get to sanding. This is the area where Brad chopped the roof and then welded the quarter window. I've built this up just a little bit with filler just to create a smoother line. So I'm working on that right now, just really taking my time, trying to kind of go in sweeping motions, I guess would be the way I describe it. It's really difficult. You can't use anything flat in a situation like this or an area like this. So you really got to just kind of let the sandpaper kind of just mold to the area and do its thing. It's got a nice look to it now, and it had almost like a point to it the window kind of came down and met like this, with the weld going in this area here. So I'm able to build up the area here to get a little bit of a contour on the window, which is just more pleasing to the eye. So I'm going to work on this area now. I gave this a quick sanding. I think I may have to build this up a little bit more. Also a couple little spots on the roof. So each round you just get a little closer, and you really just try to do very thin layers. I mean, this thing, I think as a total, I mean, I'm probably 1/8 of an inch, you know? All in all, I mean, there's really not much filler on this car. You guys all saw the metal. The epoxy's right on top of the metal, and all this pink stuff is the first round of filler, and this greenish yellow is gonna be one of my final rounds. So I'm getting there. Just a slow process. How's it going, everyone? It's Tuesday night. It's just about midnight. I'm still in the garage. I just did another, hopefully, the last final round of filler. And when I say filler, like, it's just super thin skim coats. And anyone that's ever done this knows. Every time you say that should be the last round of filler, you always need another round of filler. There's always a spot you missed because it's set up too fast and you weren't able to get to it, or you just overlooked it. You just always need one more round of filler. I promised myself, I told my girlfriend, I'm not going to go crazy on this. It's just going to be quick. I just don't know how to do it where you don't want to make it perfect or close to it. It's so hard to just walk away from an area when you can see it and you know it needs to be done. So I guess it's the perfectionist in me, and I'm certainly not the only one. A lot of us are this way because you want these cars to just be as nice as you can make them. But I told myself I wasn't going to do it, but I'm doing it. Thank goodness that I'm not doing this whole car, because it took me 7 weeks to do the body work on my 1930 Coupe, and thank God my girlfriend is absolutely amazing. And I know it wasn't her favorite time in the world, but it was 7 days a week that I worked on that thing. So I'm trying not to do that with this car. I'm trying to get this car painted within 7 days, and I don't see why I can't get it done. I just got to put in the time. So I'm gonna get to work sanding this last round of filler. Pray to the good Lord above that it actually is the last round of filler, and then that'll be it. And then I can get it ready to seal again and get it into the primer, the surfacer, so then I can block sand it. And that's going to be time consuming too, but I should be able to, I think, do that in a night. Anyways, that's it. It's almost midnight. I'm still out in the garage trying to get this done. I'll see you guys soon.